Hello there and welcome back to a new video. So Navaratri has come and gone by with its very auspicious end of Vijayadashmi, that is the 10th day of victory, when Ma Durga defeats Mahishasura after 9 days of war. Through these 9 days we get to see the powerful, the glorious, the abundant forms of Ma Durga or Shakti or the goddesses that we worship. And that gets us thinking how women in India, real women in India, are treated. That is definitely a contrast in the two. Now, before we go on with this video, I really need to give a clarification or a disclaimer that this is not a feminist video where we talk about left-wing ideologies. There won't be any feminist arguments in this video, and there is no intention of painting our traditions, culture and mythology, that is the Indian Hindu traditions, culture and mythology, in any negative way. This is just a testimony of being a woman in India by an Indian woman. Shiva or Purusha or Brahma is the essence of life itself. What gives that essence or that unmanifest truth about life, force or Shakti or energy, is the feminine form or Ma Shakti. And just like the three Murtis, we also have the three goddesses. Ma Durga signifies brute strength or the absolute power that indiscriminately destroys or fights. The fierce force of war, of warfare, of weaponry. Saraswati Devi signifies true knowledge, truth-seeking and education, that is Vidya. And Mahalakshmi signifies wealth, prosperity, abundance. So I heard this Abala argument in a speech, in a prabhashanam, that is a spiritual speech given in a temple, where they say that Mahisha thinks that a woman is an Abala, that is, she is weak, not powerful. Therefore, he would never be beaten by a woman. Turns out Abala actually means that one that can't be weakened by anything. More like Ajay or Vijay, where they say that Ajay actually stands for somebody who cannot be defeated, not somebody who is defeated. So Mahisha basically got it wrong. A classic case of underestimating a woman. At least in our mythology or itihasa or our traditions, we see a lot of powerful women with a lot of power and privilege, even though in our patriarchal system. There are three types of marriages where the best one is considered to be the one where the woman chooses her partner. Honor is another very important thing ascribed to a woman. And when the honor of a woman is questioned or threatened, really deep disasters and crises ensued. We know of Sita Devi's story where Rama, in accordance to the Kshatriya Dharma or the Dharma of being a king, when he questioned her chastity, she did Agni Parisha, that is, she jumped in a fire. And we know that when Panjali's honor was questioned in the Kaurava Sabha, entire Kurukshetra Yuddha ensued. If you take Ma Durga, she is described as somebody with huge breasts or a huge chest. And that is not because she is promiscuous or because she is sexualized. Breasts were not seen as sexual objects. Rather, it was seen as an object of abundance and of health and vitality, especially for our younger generations. But do you think that's possible today? We live in a world where women are extremely sexualized, or in a very twisted way, where our bodies are seen as sexual entities, and a huge slab of promiscuity or modesty is imposed upon us, where because our body is or can be or is a sexual object, covering it up and being modest with how you dress, how you look is very important, unless you want to be in trouble and you want to get attacked. And it is also the irony that we come from the land of Kama Sutra and other kinds of outward expressions of sexuality, because it was not something that we feared or we attacked or we shamed. There is nothing to be shamed. And it is the same for Ayurveda, because Ayurveda deeply understands women's sexuality and their sexual health far more or far greater than we can ever imagine today. Another really bad thing that women carry around just because they are women is menstruation, or the application of purity principle on a woman's health, reproductive health. That is just because human beings or Homo sapiens are the only mammal species or any species on planet Earth to menstruate, we are seen as weak and impure. The entire Shabarimala issue was predicated on that, and then people all turned the narrative into the one where Ayyappa's Brahmacharya was the most important thing. But even today, I hear it on a daily basis. The purity of a menstruating woman or the weakness of a menstruating woman is still brought into question whenever we talk about the Shabarimala issue. So it was never really about Brahmacharya of Ayyappa, was it? So the over-sexualization or the promiscuity principle and the impurity of a menstruating woman, these both collide into becoming a really awful place for a woman to live in. And never forget the duty of a woman. There are a lot of things an Indian woman is still expected to do just because she is a woman, and that is her duty as a woman, not a privilege of having somebody like that in your life. It should be a privilege, something of great value, that somebody is willing to sacrifice their life, their time, their energy into creating a beautiful home. Rather, it is seen as her duty, something that she must do. Otherwise, she is bad. We have a supposed civil society or the mainstream society that impose these laws on the woman, that she needs to be non-promiscuous, modest. She needs to always be careful about where she walks, how she dresses, who she looks at, when she should raise her head, when she should cover her head. There is rules after rules after rules on how a woman should present herself in order to avoid being attacked. That's everything. If you do this, you will be attacked. If you do this, you will be shamed. But on the other side, there are these elements in society that take advantage of this weak position that a woman is constantly put, and despite all the measures imposed on the woman, the attacks on women is significantly higher. India is one of the most dangerous places for a woman to live in. I wonder why that is. And just the same with the reproductive health of a woman, there are laws after laws after laws on how to maintain or how to circumvent the impurity and the weakness and the state of sickness that a woman is in when she is menstruating or when she is pregnant. But does any of that actually address the problems of women? No. It actually adds to the problems of a woman, because she is also discriminated and prejudiced, and a lot of stereotypes run over her life when she is going through these difficult times as a person. I don't have to talk about duty, because you know how it is, because when some things are seen as the duty of being a woman, then you don't get any benefits. It's something that you're born to do, so do it. Why are you expecting any rewards? So that's what we go through on a daily basis. I'm sure you guys have a lot of experiences with it. Please share in the comment section. And whenever you complain or whenever you say that this is unfair, This should not happen. We need more rights, we need more respect and dignity and safety. The go-to answer, there are two go-to answers, but the most important go-to answer is get a job, be independent, make money for yourself so that you can take care of yourself, so that you don't have to depend on somebody else. Well, that is all well and good. I'm not criticizing that, but that is besides the point. You should not have to add value, or you should not have to contribute through paying tax or through any economical means to have your fundamental rights secured. That is something that goes over the head of most people. I don't understand that. You don't have to be a tax-paying, financially secure person to have safety when you walk on the streets, or when you need rest, or when you need to be taken care of. That comes to you just because you are a human being. But there is the double whammy of feminism, where being independent or being rebellious to the circumstances, the family, the society that you are in is the way forward, where you make money for the corporate world or for the government. You pay taxes by going to job and doing your job. Kind of gives you a sort of empowerment, they say. But I have yet to see or yet to understand how that is. Are you working? Do you work or not? Do you pay taxes or not? Do you contribute economically or not is not the criteria of your value, your dignity, and your respect. It should be given to you, and the fight should be for that, not for making women independent and take them out of their homes and families and societies. What do you think about that? It's the societies that needs to change, the attitudes of entire cultures towards women that needs to change, not the women themselves. Again, I'm not saying that women shouldn't work or shouldn't contribute economically or shouldn't follow their passion. Definitely they should. But that should not be the criteria for their dignity or their respect or their fundamental rights. I think the fundamental problem of being a woman in India is this idea that you are somebody to be married off. That is, your entire life as a woman is tailored to being married off. Off to where? Mars, Jupiter, Pluto. Everything is about that one thing. Who do you marry? Where do you marry off to? And what are the expectations of the future to-be husband and their family? And that is what destroys a woman's life, if you ask me. The mere amount of money that most families in India save up just because they have a couple of female children in the house is enough to get them educated, to give them an experience in actual life, and to make them the best versions that they can be. It takes far less actually. You don't need to spend that much that you end up spending on their marriages or their weddings to empower them. And it's not like we have a choice, really. We are expected to be married off. At one point, it was even before you ever hit puberty, because you are to be married off, weren't you? But now it can wait until you get a professional degree or get your bachelor's degree, because now people want educated women in their families for some reason. Right after that age bar is reached, you are either a broker comes to your house showing you matches, or you can go to an online site and get matches and to be married off eventually. This should be the definition of forced marriages, because you don't marry for love, you don't marry for support, you don't marry for partnership. You marry because you have to be married, and it doesn't matter who you marry. It's just that it should be somebody that the family can tolerate or adjust with or benefit from. How is that good for anybody? And because this whole institution of this forced marriage exists, men never have to try anything at all not even talk to a woman properly or learn to talk to a woman properly. It's not needed for them because their mothers, the alpha females of the family, will secure them a bride to get married. You just have to focus on making money or not wasting money, the family money that you got. If you have that, or if you can show people that you have a secure life, you will get a woman. That is a system that we have here. And that woman will work for you or will adjust their life for you so that you will be comfortable for the rest of your life. And that makes men weak, feminized system, and makes them into these lazy bums that never do anything worthwhile in their life. So I think the determining factor affecting women in India today is forced marriages. Women should be able to make informed choices about who they should marry and when. And then we'll see what will happen actually. No more alpha females carrying their sons in their purses or at the tip of their sari and finding brides for them. I mean, man up, learn how to talk to a woman, learn how to treat a woman, and that will secure you a girlfriend or a partner who will actually support you and who would want to do something for you with their lives. And of course, no more dowry. It goes without saying at this point. I mean, you know how dowry works and dowry death works. And irony again is that I come from the land of the greatest dowry death or dowry-related domestic violence, probably in India. I don't know. So I know what I'm talking about. So I hope this Navaratri you guys made it about the goddesses that you knew and admire in your lives, including yourself. Let's try and give back what we revere womanhood for in India. That is wealth and prosperity, vidya or knowledge or education, and power or shakti. The power to create, to defend and to protect. So that's it for this video. Happy Navaratri once again, and until we meet next time, bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel.